So when you ask a question and you want to create some curiosity, and I have clients that do this now. I have a client who just did this actually. She was at a networking event and we'd been talking about creating some curiosity. And so she said, one of the things that I'm known for is helping people find the perception gap when it comes to what they think their customers want and what their customers will actually pay for. That immediately sparked curiosity. And people in the chat were like, what do you mean perception gap? How do you do that? And then she ended up booking some calls and ended up getting a client from it. So it is about learning how to do things that allow somebody to go, tell me more about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think there's probably a lot of ways to do that. One that's kind of worked for me in our content, and I didn't get entirely invent this. I think I've heard it for other people reference it, is the idea of forgotten knowledge, right? Where it's like you're not giving somebody something that they've never heard of before, but you're implying that, hey, you knew this thing and you might have forgotten it, or you might know 80 to 90% of this, but there's this 10% piece that you're missing, which I think in my experience like sometimes builds more curiosity than other things. Does that sound familiar, or any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you the thought that I have that I would encourage you to think about is the question that you would ask.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people will write, like they'll go right into like, here's something you probably know, but you've forgotten. That may or may not spark some curiosity. But if you said, is this something you already knew? And then you start talking about it, now you've engaged their brain to want to answer that question, to go like, well, now I have to read it to know, did I actually know this? Versus telling me what I knew and didn't know.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.